It's Thursday. You know what time it is. Time for the hottest wrestling podcast on the planet. Beyond the Barricade with your hosts, Dollar Bill, the Cleaner, and the Brain. Let's get started.
Well, good evening, gentlemen. Good morning, evening, however you want to look at it. Welcome back to another
Whatever time
episode
it
of
is you're watching, good good to you.
Much Good to You.
Yeah.
But say right now, it's been a crazy week in wrestling.
Yeah, crazy
This
weekend.
this week, this past week had to be one of the worst weeks for wrestling fans, bar none.
Bar none.
Within 24 hours of each other, we lost two wrestling greats. We
Hmm.
lost WWE Terry Funk, and less than 24 hours later, we lost the incomparable Bray Wyatt. Now, gentlemen,
Yeah,
we all loved both of them, and I think it's only appropriate that we observe a moment of silence and have a 10 bell salute for them.
give me 1 second. What exactly is the share screen on this one? Oh, hold on. Here. I apologize, it's going to be a little bit lame, but this beats copyright.
May they rest in peace. We're going to miss them both.
Rest in peace. One thing I will add to this, I was I was furious, to be quite honest. I'm just gonna make it real quick because yeah, I kind of bought. I was sort of hearing the rumors about creative differences, and then when it came out he had an illness, I immediately forgot all about the creative differences. I just said, "Hey, as long as he's better." And then it kind of
Yeah.
find out he passed, and I was like, the guy was going to make a comeback, and now this. And I sort of echo the sentiments where saying to all the gossip, like to all the guys who are gossiping about this and that about him, I rarely say this, go fuck yourself. Pretty much I'm gonna say it straight up. Go fuck yourself.
Exactly.
L- Learn what the hell is truth and fact and fiction and stop and don't try to be these fucking sharks trying to, spread shit because you need a hit. Screw you. If you get it wrong, it's one thing, but if you're just spreading it because you want to be famous, that's another thing. But we lost a good man. And yeah, I may not fully understand his character, but damn, I love this finisher though. And I do love the fact that he made a performance out of it. He made it an art. So,
Oh,
you know,
absolutely.
coming from like just sort of a silly character from Husky Harris to something where the Wyatt family, where everybody was kind of like not exactly sure, but it sort of built on it. And then to the Firefly Funhouse, where I admit I was laughing during those segments. Like,
Oh, my God. I was
I,
crying. I was laughing so hard sometimes.
I was like, this is some of the best stuff I've seen. And then to go into the Fiend, it was just like, whoa, this is even more kick ass.
Yeah, I was not
Yeah.
watching WWE at that time. Like I enjoyed the Wyatt family, the cult leader character, but the Fiend was something else. That was like the only thing I would go out of my way to go try to look up footage for, because the Fiend was such to me that whole concept was such a wonderful concept. Now, even though, like, I remember at the time thinking of it, like the person, like the film person, the film production person inside me, there's a lot of different things that I would have went different with that. Try to make it look more like a found lost footage type thing instead of it was like too nice of a production. That's my
Blair White.
OCD coming out. Yeah,
Blair Witch.
but
I'm sorry, Blair Witch. I'm sorry, Blair Witch.
yeah, like I would have tried to make it look like more like that, but I was so entertained by that stuff, and like I even remember when I went to the last WWE show I ever went to, the last WWE show ever at Prudential Center so far. Um, yeah, that was like one of the two segments I actually gave a crap about, and it was so cool to especially see that in the arena. Um,
Wow.
but yeah, no, the Fiend was such an incredible character, and it just brought me this sucky thing was that it brought me right back to January when we lost Jay Briscoe. I kept
Mm,
on having those same
Yeah.
thoughts and over again, and I was like, man, he's too young, and
yeah.
it was they were taking like we weren't. I don't know how to put it, but it was like we weren't expecting this, you know.
No, you
It
never are.
sucks.
No. This was complete nowhere.
You know, at least with Terry Funk, we could be thankful to know that he's at peace now. You
Yeah.
know, he was at the end of his life. He was, you know, battling different types of diseases. Like I think remember hearing a post where his family said he was battling dementia. Now we know he's at peace, so we can find
Yeah.
solace in that. But with somebody like Bray, man, he was young. He was only 5 years older than me. He's got a whole family. You,
Yeah.
you just you're wishing nothing but the best for JoJo and his family.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Definitely. But with regards to the Fiend, that scared me, and I don't scare easily. Just seeing that thing come out at times just sent a cold shiver right down my spine.
I love the storytelling, that whole
Oh, the
character.
storytelling was phenomenal with the Fiend.
Now,
Yeah.
you
Oh
guys
yeah.
know I'm not a storytelling person. I don't like the sports entertainment, but I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
I just I just enjoy the fact like seeing it just turning into the Fiend. It just felt like it felt like something of a silly character to something of an invincible monster. Like kind of like the Michael Myers, Jason Voorhees and all that. Like that type
Yeah,
of Maddie.
Freddy Krueger.
Yeah. Like, you know, especially when you just said run, it's like, oh shiznit.
Yeah.
Oh shiznit.
So,
Yeah. He
and I
should have been
loved how when he would now come out with the new lantern, it was his head, and
yes.
like the light was outside the mouth. Oh, it was wonderful.
Yeah, that was great.
he should have been in Hollywood. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. That
He
I
would he
agree.
would have gone to Hollywood without a doubt.
He
You
should have
know,
in a way. Yeah.
I wish
Mhm.
there was a promotion like Lucha Underground. So, like Lucha Underground, if you ever watched it, it was so heavy on the storytelling.
Mm.
And like the story, it wasn't made like a traditional wrestling show. It was made like a Spanish
Telenova.
Novella.
Novella
teleno
Italianation.
Telenova
yeah,
or novella.
telenova
Novella,
novella.
yeah.
Um,
Christ in Spanish.
yeah, it was made exactly like that, but the wrestling would still be in arena, like a small venue, studio venue,
Mhm.
Mhm.
and you had fans there, and but it was just so well done and so story based. Something like that was primed for a Bray Wyatt type person, and I could
No
only
doubt.
imagine had if they were giving him the reins in like a promotion like that. Imagine what the cinema he could make.
Mm,
Indeed.
indeed.
So, but gentlemen, we have other things to discuss tonight.
Yes.
This past Sunday, a little company called AEW decided to hop the pond and invade Wembley Stadium with about
Yeah, they sold.
80,000 of their closest friends.
Yeah, 80,000 people showed up to Wembley Stadium for a T-shirt company.
Yeah, I noticed.
Hmm.
And you know what? The t-shirt company didn't do too bad. They actually put on
No,
a really good show.
yeah, yes they did. And you know, this is what happened last time? We had All In, Chicago,
Hmm.
and right there, if you have, yeah, right there, if you have your zoom
Yep, I
focus,
see it.
like right about there, that's where I
Mhm.
am. I'm in this photo
Mhm.
twice. But
Nice.
but yeah, no, I wish I could have been in Wembley yesterday. It was so weird watching it. So I don't watch the WWE when they go over to UK, and then their show start at 1. So it was a new thing for me to wake up at noon and then have wrestling on at 1 o'clock, pay-per-view wrestling.
Well, don't forget you had 0 hour at noon.
Yes, yeah, that was a. There's only one time I've seen wrestling that early, and that was GCW when they had the Orange Cassidy show.
Hmm.
That was at noon, and yeah, no, that was crazy. So now this time it's about 80,000. Imagine when we were here at All In 2018. Just to think, 5 years later, there's going to be a whole nother company that these guys start, and within 5 years, they're going to fill out. They're going to sell out Wembley Stadium, 80,000 people.
It's a beautiful thing.
You could go
Yes,
over there and ask me. I would have laughed in your face.
I would have
Hmm.
been like, "Good luck to you."
I think everybody would have
Yeah,
laughed at that concept.
yeah.
Yeah, and look what happened.
Yep.
And the
So
funny and the
zero
funny thing
hour.
is, for real quick, funny thing is, people are still trying to doubt the number.
Yeah, yeah.
That's it.
Hmm.
Because
Like,
it's a common thing for, since they're the only company that's pretty much still around from like the territorial days. WWE, they're known for inflating their number.
mhm.
Um, a lot of the times it's not always correct, but it's not like a huge discrepancy. It's like at best like 5,000, maybe 10,000 people if it's in a
Yeah, it's
stadium.
less than
But
10%.
yeah,
Something like that.
but AEW never really does that because they
No.
never really had the opportunity to do that. And then now, see, the whole thing is that it's paid attendance. The record is for paid attendance, and that no, obviously nobody's going to count two shows from a dictatorship where everybody was forced to show up.
El Jefe. Yeah.
So
All right. Let's go
So
into
yeah,
let's
zero
talk
hour.
0 hour.
let's run down the card.
Yeah, let's talk 0 hour. We had two championship matches on 0 hour. One from the sister company, Ring of Honor, the little sister company,
It adopted.
and then the FTW championship.
The
So let's
unsanctioned
start with the
championship of wrestling.
let's talk about the ROH tag team title match. Aussie Open versus MJF and Adam Cole.
Yes, Aussie Open
Two of the
won
most
the.
unlikely men to be paired together as I have ever seen, and they are making it work like magic.
Yes, I mean it's a wonderful storyline that's being told right now. Um, you know, Aussie Open they won the tag team titles in front of me at Death Before Dishonor back in July,
Hmm.
and I thought they were gonna have a pretty lengthy reign with the titles. They are one of the top tag teams of the new generation. So honestly, it was really surprising for me to see them lose the tag titles.
I was
Um,
actually surprised at it too
yeah,
because
because
of
you,
how
I
short
was,
the title reign was.
yeah, and I was expecting a heel turn here. Um, now I'm going with Cole. That's going to turn, and that's who AEW is setting it up as.
Hmm.
But
Because
obviously
MJF
they
is
had.
already the heel.
Well, I mean, I would say he's a pretty over babyface right now.
Oh, absolutely, but he's always been a hell of a heel.
Yeah, and that's why I think having him as a babyface is something that should have happened at Full Gear. Okay, I was at Full Gear. That crowd was super behind MJF. They weren't behind Moxley. That should have been MJF's babyface turn. Obviously, it wasn't. And now we're getting this whole storyline. I really think MJF, if they do turn, it should be Cole that's turning heel, and MJF be the
Agreed.
babyface. He's like this story they've been telling. Oh my god, I've been so like it's just so insane with how talented of a worker MJF is. He's without a
Yes,
doubt
exactly.
the future of AEW.
As long as he stays in AEW.
Yeah,
I I
he ain't
think
going
he
nowhere.
I think he will because he knows he's a fan. So I think he knows how the whole WWE how the whole AEW audience there's so many of them that feel outcasted by WWE.
Yeah.
So they contribute to the toxic trait of tribalism.
Boo, by
And
the way.
yeah, boo.
Boo.
Yeah, boo Vince McMahon, boo.
Boo your tribalism bullshit.
but in all seriousness, yeah, I think he's just playing into that. And I honestly do think he's going to stay because when he goes off the record, he does talk of Tony Khan and AEW in a positive manner. So I do think he's going to stay.
I can agree with that. I think so too.
But I
But
mean,
no,
just
yeah, it was a
the
wonderful
fact that they
match.
had, yeah, the fact that they won the match is both good and mind blowing at the same time.
Yes, it is.
Because you really didn't expect it. You were hoping for it, but you didn't expect it.
No, yeah. Well, I mean, honestly, to say was I hoping for them to win? No, because I wanted Aussie Open to retain.
Hmm.
Because I want to see Aussie Open. I wanted to see. I know how good of a tag team they are. They won the World Tag League in New Japan earlier this year.
Hmm.
They were 2-time strong openweight tag team champions. They won the heavyweight tag team. They were strong tag champs and heavyweight tag champs at the same time. So that shows you how much, even when they were now signed with AEW, they were New Japan champs. That shows you how much faith New Japan had in them.
Hmm.
So they were definitely going to be, to me at least, the face of the Ring of Honor tag team scene now that there's no more Briscoes.
Yeah,
So
unfortunately.
it is, yeah, unfortunately. But it's very confusing to me as in why. Like I understand it would make sense for the Cole storyline, the Cole MJF storyline, but to me, it didn't really make sense to have them drop the belts.
Yeah. Now I'm going to say this, going along with what you just said about the Cole MJF storyline. This will play well into Cole's heel turn, as when they're defending the titles once or twice, eventually something's going to go wrong between the two of them. He's going to turn heel on MJF and cost them the titles to whoever they're fighting.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll be Aussie Open. Aussie Open should be able to get a rematch, don't you think?
Um. Well, I mean, that doesn't really happen as much outside of WWE.
Yeah, but
The automatic rematch.
Mm.
I didn't say automatic. I said they should be
Yeah.
able to get a rematch. Doesn't mean they're going to.
Yeah, down the road maybe. You never
Yeah,
know.
Um.
they may have to fight their way back up the ladder a little bit. You know?
It's just to me, it's just like now who do you have them drop it to?
Mm.
Because I mean, if you have them drop it to Aussie Open,
Hop it
I
on,
think
take it
that's gonna
slow.
invalidate the the win at All In.
I understand that, but my thinking is have them go through a couple of other teams, have Aussie Open go through a couple other teams and fight their way back to the championship match, and then have them take the belts back. Not an
And to
automatic
that,
rematch and they get the belts back.
yeah,
Mm.
there. But to me, like, I feel like there's no legitimate competition in Ring of Honor to match
Ah,
Aussie Open, because Aussie Open is one of the best tag teams in the world currently.
Mm,
I
no
don't
doubt.
feel like I don't feel like there's anybody in Ring of Honor that's on their level.
Okay, so who says it has to be guys from Ring of Honor? Doesn't have to be guys from Ring of Honor right off the bat.
yeah. Who else you got?
Let them come. Let them
Yeah.
invade the AEW tag team division. Fight with
Um.
the
Again.
Kingdom.
Okay.
Fight with the
Well,
Bucks.
here's the Kingdom is like half. They're like one of those floater tactics.
They're
Because
like
that's
you.
the
They're
thing with,
tweeners.
yeah. Well, no, not even that. I mean, like,
Part time.
so the way how AEW and Ring of Honor works is that you're technically signed to both, so you could appear on AEW and then also appear on Ring of Honor. It's not like how
Yeah,
it's not like how it's WWE where you can only
you're
be a
signed to
Raw
SmackDown
guy.
or you're signed to Raw.
Yeah, yeah. So it's like a floating roster.
Yeah,
So like,
exactly.
yeah,
Exactly why I suggested they could come in and take on a couple of teams in AEW, and then the MJF and Cole can find a couple of teams to fight in Ring of Honor.
I mean, I see what you're saying,
We
but
just got
like,
to go
yeah,
see.
just to me, like, all I'm saying is like, this is not something I would have done.
Here's one thing I would not do if I was Tony Khan.
What's that?
I would not put FTR versus MJF and Adam Cole in a winner takes all match.
Mm, not right now.
No, because
No.
I
No,
don't
not
think
at all.
FTR needs the titles.
I wouldn't do it at all. For the simple fact that if you unify the titles, it
Oh no, no,
it
no. Screw that.
No,
invalidates
you're not gonna
one
unify the
or both.
titles.
Yeah, yeah. I understand now. You're not gonna. No,
No, you're
don't
not
unite
gonna.
them.
That's one thing that I'm thankful that AEW and at least Tony Khan hasn't done yet is like trying to unify the titles.
Don't.
But as you've seen with Samoa Joe, he was both the TNT champion and the ROH TV champ.
Mhm.
So he was still a double champion. It was just
Right.
one thing I'm appreciative of is that, like, even with FCR last year when they had the three different titles at one time.
Mhm.
Mhm.
One week they'll defend the Ring of Honor tag titles. The next week they're defending the New Japan
AAA titles.
Mhm.
AAA titles, and then they're defending the IWGP Heavyweight titles. So it was flux. They were a triple champion. It
Yeah.
wasn't one belt. It wasn't one championship. It was three.
Right. And I agree that the championships need to be maintained separately
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
defended separately.
Yes.
I could see Aussie Open
Uh,
being the next challengers for FTR's um, AEW belts because they did have a couple of very good matches. If we look back at Royal Quest 2, which took place last year,
Mhm.
they had a very good match, FTR and Aussie Open. It's something I would recommend watching.
I'll have to check it out.
Um, so
Booker's.
yeah, so AEW, I think that could be maybe not all out, but potentially Grand Slam, or something we could either probably touch on later. But so at the press conference yesterday, they announced another pay per view for AEW. I'm not sure if you guys heard.
No,
So October
I didn't
1st,
see the scrum.
yes, so October 1st, from Seattle, they're gonna have a pay per view called AEW Wrestle Dream. It's as of right now just an AEW show, but the name Wrestle Dream comes from, I believe, a '90s New Japan show, and it's going to be and the name comes from, at least as a tribute to Antonio Inoki, because I believe October 1st was 1 year since we lost Inoki.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be a little tribute show, and Tony Khan did say he wants New Japan wrestlers on that show.
Well,
So, but yeah, that's
well.
the after All Out. That's the next pay per view
That's
Yes.
so dream.
Yep, October 1st of last year.
of
I
this
like
year.
that idea. No. Last year was the
No,
loss.
when he lost,
This
he lost
year.
to
Last
Antonio.
year. Oh
Right.
yeah.
This year would be
So
the
it'll be the
event.
1 year anniversary
yeah.
of his passing.
Yep. So
And it's
and
like, let's
that's
have
where
wrestling.
Wrestle Dream comes from. Yep.
Nice.
Inoki,
I like it.
Bombaya, Inoki,
So-
Bombaya.
Let's move on, gentlemen.
Yeah,
Next.
the second match,
Yeah.
it was
Jack Perry comes
Jack
out
Perry.
with the versus Hook for the FTW title.
Yeah,
Somebody call Hook.
he was sent. Somebody had sent for Hook, and he was sent. It was a nice matchup.
Yeah, it was a good match.
Yeah, it really showcases the future for AEW. There was an infamous moment now. I'm sure you've all have seen. Jack Perry comes out in a limo, and before the start of the match, they do a little fight by the limo, and then they set up for a spot. Jack Perry slaps the window, says, "Real glass, cry me a fucking
Cry me a
river."
river.
Yeah, I fucking loved it. And there was
And
somebody backstage
leading
who
up-
did not love it.
That little thing probably led up to what happened after the match.
But
And
Oh,
before
that
the
was
start
after the
of the
match it
main
happened.
show.
yeah,
Okay.
let's discuss the match though. So
Yeah.
so right after he did that, it was Perry took a back bump into the glass, and then they come out to the ring. They had a nice matchup and ended in a kata. Oh, I can never say it right.
Red
Just say
Rum.
Red Rum. Just say
Red Rum, yeah, Red Rum.
Yeah, just go with that.
Red
And
Rum. Red
Hook
Rum.
is now a two-time. Hook is now a two-time FTW champion.
Yep. Taz
And
is
he
a
won
happy
the belt.
man
Yes, very happy man.
since
think
he
I did
created the damn title.
They gotta do something more with it though. Like what does he do with it? I mean, it's just the title, it sounds like.
It's the FTW championship,
Right.
which was if you're not good at anagrams, it's fuck the world, because it was
Yep.
Taz's. Because he wasn't the heavyweight champion in ECW, he wasn't even though he was like one of the more popular guys.
Yeah.
But he created his own belt, so that's what it stood for.
Yep. Yep. Fuck the world.
And now it's here.
Just like FTR stands for
Fuck the revival.
Thank you, Cody,
Those
for that
damn
one.
Bucks.
I lived through that. Okay, I lived.
So did I. I loved it.
Go
It was
through
fucking
Ring of
hilarious.
Honor show. At the end of the show, you have Cody goes on 3, 1, 2, 3. Fuck the revival.
I
It was,
remember
it was
that.
such a funny bit too, because he
I
would
still-
just
And
like,
it
one of my-
worked so well.
yeah it did.
I
Like
just remember when Omega first he saw it, Omega was like, what the hell, dude?
the one thing I always remember is so they were filming for promo for New Japan's first ever United States show. And it was the show where it was the 2-day tournament for the first ever United States championship. And so they were filming a promo, and so obviously it was a normal promo.
Mhm.
You could watch the promo on YouTube, but they did like a little BTE skit, and it was Cody. He'd like stand with his back towards the camera, flip, and go,
Fuck the
"Fuck the
revival.
revival." It was the funniest shit.
It's like Omega's like,
Yeah,
what?
because like that whole like era was just them doing like skits with WWE. So you
yeah.
had Stooge, and then when the clock, because like in the end of 2018, right after All Out, they
Mhm.
started having this thing where they would have a clock tick. You would just hear a clock, and people would be like, "The hell is that clock?" Obviously, now we know that led to the reveal of AEW, But
Hmm.
but yeah, they also did the my favorite one of my favorite bits of all time from BTE was the Cody Shakes and the exorcism of Cody Rhodes, and because like
Yeah.
he would just have like the white contacts, and he would
Mhm.
just like be shaking, and he'd be looking towards the camera, and he would just saying like those random SmackDown facts. It
Yeah.
was the funniest shit, and I remember the funniest thing was when he re-debuted for or returned to WWE. I was like, "Oh my god, he's got a horrible case of the money shakes." It was just something you got to live to. You had
Yeah.
to live through, man. Like that, I wish I could go back to this moment right here.
Hmm.
All
Yeah.
in, that time was something special.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
still
So
is.
so after the match,
Mm-hmm.
Jack Perry's making his way back to the
Right.
backstage area to the locker
Mhm.
room, and they're about to start the main show. And the first match on the main show is Samoa Joe versus Bill Brooks.
Yeah, the biggest crybaby in the world.
He's going. He's
Yeah.
going full. He's going full kayfabe, folks.
You know,
And then
when he
they
came back on Collision, he said that your something like your favorite wrestlers are softer than you. Ironically, he was talking about himself
not surprising,
because
but
you know when
apparently there was some kind of altercation between him and Jack Perry.
yeah. So the story that seems to be true is when Perry walked back through the curtain, Phil stepped up to him, asked him if he had a problem, and I guess Perry said, "What are you going to do about it?" Something like that, and then Punk shoved him, and then put him in a headlock, thinking he
Yeah.
was going to de-escalate the situation. And then Punk, after everything happens, threatens to quit AEW. Shows you,
Again.
really, it was about the money for him.
Yeah.
One of my favorite signs. One of my favorite
Best in the world
signs.
at being a bitch.
Yep, that one, and there was another one. It was like Pepsi's a soft drink.
Yeah, I saw that one too.
Ouch.
Did you also
So
see the one for No Holds Barred ICW?
I saw it after you showed me. I didn't see it
Yeah.
live. I saw it after you showed me.
It was
But
right
there was
behind
an
Takeshita and Callis.
okay. But you know, I mean, honestly, Punk and Joe had a good match. Nothing near their Ring of Honor days, but then again,
Oh no, no.
obviously, it was 20 years ago. Although I am surprised that Punk won with a Pepsi plunge.
Yeah, really.
Haven't seen that since Ring of Honor.
I'm actually
uh,
disappointed that he won the match.
Oh yeah, of course I am too. Because then
But
we
you know,
probably have to deal more with him. But so the story coming out of All In is that there's him and Jack Perry are both suspended, probably gonna miss All Out. So
boo.
no, yay!
mhm.
No,
So
what?
we don't have to
No,
deal with
actually,
them
I
for.
heard something different.
I kind of want to see him like
I mean,
hit
I want to see
all that.
Perry. I like Jack Perry.
I just
Oh, I
want to
love
see him
Jack.
get get a hit back kicked in or something. Like yeah, let him wrestle. Just stiffen
Yeah,
a bit. Y'all hate him
but
that much.
I think they may be holding off on putting those two together until a later pay per view.
Mm.
Yeah, at least until after the whole investigation, because they're going through supposedly an investigation. So
Yeah,
they're gonna wait until that's all cleared up.
yeah. So
But
I'm
Oh my god.
probably looking at Grand Slam.
5 months later.
CM Punk got injured again. But but yeah, so we move on to the second match.
Next.
Golden Elite,
Yep.
Golden Elite versus Bullet Club Gold and Takeshita.
Mm.
Yeah.
This was a fun 6-man tag. It wasn't as rushed as the original Golden Elite match from the original All In. Um, but it's a nice solid match, and I'll tell you what surprised. another surprising result for me. I'm surprised Takeshita won on a roll up,
Yeah.
Yeah.
not even a finish. It was a roll up. So, but yeah, no, they made. I'll tell you what, probably the two guys coming out looking, or at least from this match, looking the best are Takeshita and Jay White.
Yep. So I heard.
Yeah, definitely.
Jay White's gonna have a very when he has his own single run in AEW, it's gonna be a very very good run. I feel like
No doubt.
Darby Allin should win the TNT title at All Out, and then Darby and Sting have or Darby and Jay White have a nice little program right there for the
Ooh,
TNT title.
that's
Oh,
music.
that's gonna be a good.
That's good.
That's gonna be a good round.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I mean, hell, I remember thinking a couple maybe like 3 years ago,
Mhm.
thinking when watching Jay White versus Ibushi in the match yesterday, thinking like, yeah, man, these guys could. I remember watching these like 3 years ago in the G1 Climax final, having the match of both of their careers.
Hmm.
So they had some very good talent in that 6 man yesterday. It was a wonderful match.
Yeah, it was definitely a good match. And just the look on Adam Page's face at the end when he's and what he's you could read his lips. What the fuck?
Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
because that was probably one of the more surprising finishes, especially in Hell, because it was just a roll up. You
Yeah,
know, um, it's starting to make a comeback now. These roll up finishes,
yeah,
Yeah.
and they're
These victory
just as
rolls.
surprised. Yeah, they're just as surprising as the last because you don't see it coming, and then it happens, and you're like, oh wow.
hmm
And not all
So
the times we've all been pulling tights either.
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
It's
It was
always
a clean roll up.
it's always the Bret Hart Owen Hart or no the Bret Hart British Bulldog style where Bulldog
Hmm.
is on top and he's like leaning over and he's grabbing the legs. Like
Yeah,
that's always how they get it done, and it's still as surprising as the last time it happens because it's you never expect it, especially in a big
yeah.
match on a big pay
Well,
per view.
this roll up wasn't like the British Bulldog Bret Hart one.
Mm.
This was like a schoolboy. We reached in
Mm,
Ah.
and grabbed him and rolled him up.
yeah, yeah,
Because the Bulldog one was where Bret Hart was trying to do a sunset flip. Bret Hart went all the way over, and then Bulldog just kneeled down and grabbed his legs and held him.
yeah.
So,
Man.
gentlemen, next match
Next on the card.
AEW tag titles.
Fuck the Revival
Was
versus
or was it the yeah, it was the FTR match.
yeah,
Yep.
Fuck the Revival
Yeah.
versus the Young Sucks. I don't know, depends how you say it. I'm gonna get both, but you know.
I'll tell you
Um,
what, man. I was actually I was very impressed with the entire match, but I was disappointed, but not fully upset because I kind of expected it out of the Bucks. What they did at the end.
um,
I mean, they just had the end of a trilogy of phenomenal matches with TR. FTR, being the gentlemen that they are, go to congratulate them on a good series, and they just kind of wave them off and walk away.
Mm-hmm.
I respect the Young Bucks for doing that, but that's not because I'm a super huge Young Buck fan, and will cheer and will praise everything they do. But
You're a young buck, Mark.
I'll tell you what, the beginning of the match, I felt like once the match got going, it was an incredible match, incredible match. Um, I feel like this was the best match of the three
Wow.
because the first one was in front of a I don't want to say small group, but it was like it was still a pandemic era show. Not
Okay.
everybody was back yet,
Yeah.
so it wasn't as widely known. And then the second match, was a Dynamite main event that only lasted like maybe 10 minutes at best,
It's
maybe a
Dynamite for
little
you.
less. Yeah. So it didn't have the time to tell it the story that they wanted to tell. So yesterday, I think, was without a doubt the best match of the three.
Hmm.
Of
Although
course.
I wish we would have had a different result. I wish another team would have won, and there's only two teams. But no, no, it was a wonderful match, and I believe FTR is gonna. They're probably gonna have. I hope they have like a nice little program with another an up and coming team.
I'll laugh if it's Aussie Open. I will laugh they booked that. Just
I
saying.
I think it's gonna be a hell of a match.
Mm, definitely. I mean, not much more to say about that. You
Try
guys pretty
this
much
on for
covered it.
size.
Yes.
Try this one on for size. Best friends turn on Orange Cassidy and become best fiends
No,
and go
Mm,
after
no,
FDR.
no.
mm.
That's it. No,
You
Mm,
can't
because
just turn
you
everybody
can't.
heel.
Yeah,
Everybody
you can't
does.
turn
That's
them
like
heel. I
that's
mean, you
like
could do
a cop
face
out.
versus face. That's the thing I love about AEW. You can do face versus face. You could do heel heel, and
mm.
the fans want good wrestling.
The
That's all they
fans will
want.
And
eat
you'll
it
get
up.
it either way.
Yeah. So you could absolutely do face versus face here. A face FTR versus a face best friends. And I think it would be a hell of a match.
I think so
Oh,
too.
I agree, but it would be funny as hell if they did it.
Uh, I don't know. To me, everybody's it's like too easy to turn everybody heel and just go after them. Just like couldn't just
Okay,
go
how
after
about
these
this?
things. Yes,
How about Santana and Ortiz going after FDR now?
I could see
Now
that.
that they're back together,
I could see him after a
they're a
few
natural
matches.
heel team.
Yes. No, I could see that after a few matches though too. They just got
Hmm.
back. Kind of like as Clean said earlier about the early people. Fight their way to to it.
Yeah,
Hmm.
That's not a bad idea.
and you really want to. You don't want to throw Blackpool Combat Club at them because the three guys who are in Blackpool are basically all singles wrestlers.
Especially you're probably gonna have something I really want to see is Claudio versus Eddie at Grand Slam.
Ooh,
I want that because
Oh, I want that
Eddie
so
winning the
bad.
ROH World Title in front of his home crowd of 20,000 people. I could like if
Blow
you
Arthur Ashe
saw
Stadium away.
if you remember last year when the Acclaim won the tag titles,
Yeah.
Eddie winning the world title, the ROH World Title, would be 10 times bigger than that because he's
Hmm.
beloved. Eddie's beloved.
Yeah.
oh yeah,
Especially since ROH grew up in that area.
Yeah,
Grew up in
yep.
Baltimore, grew up in New Jersey, grew up in New York.
Philly.
it's a Northeast company.
Yeah.
So yeah, that I think
Yeah.
that
It
night
spent a
would
good
be
time in Philly
special,
too. Yeah, it
Yeah.
would be.
especially
Oh,
since last year, um, what do you call it? Last year you had Chris Jericho win the ROH title.
Hmm.
That's something I never thought I'd see.
To become the
I
Ocho.
Yeah, and I was there live for it. I never thought I'd see Chris Jericho. Even I remember when he wrestled for Ring of Honor in the on the first Cruise of Jericho,
Hmm.
and it was him and the Young Bucks versus Cody, Hangman, and I think Omega. And yeah, no, that was crazy. That was a crazy night. And then to see him win the Ring of Honor World Title, like that, yeah, no, that was crazy. So I think they could do it again this year and have Eddie drop the or win the strap in his hometown, in front of his hometown people. That would be amazing.
I think so too. Just hear,
Yeah,
I can just hear the
definitely.
pop first off him
And
coming
you know what?
into the ring.
Eddie deserves it.
Yeah,
He's put
oh,
in
without
his
a
time.
doubt.
He's paid his dues. He's more than paid his dues.
Without a doubt.
Without a doubt. But as they say, let's see if they're gonna pull the trigger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
So
a good
the
match.
match after that, um,
It decided
was
to
it was it the
take
Stadium
over the
Stampede?
Yeah,
stadium.
the Stadium
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the
Stampede.
stadium stampede. That match reminded me of all of the shows I did at GCW and ICW, where
Hmm.
just all hell broke loose from the beginning of the match.
Now it wasn't as it didn't have as many comedic spots as the
No, but it
original
had some
Stadium
brutal
Stampede match.
spots.
Yes, it did. Um, like one I remember is they were fighting, like Eddie and Claudio were fighting throughout the stadium. I know
Yeah,
Dustin was throughout the stadium at one point. Um, they did have the spot where Pentagon got hurt, comes back as Penta or Skull. I don't know how to
yeah,
say that, uh, but he evil Penta, and they did the ladder spot where the ladder broke. And
yeah.
then they tried it again, and then through the double tables. Um,
And
the
he got
one thing
cracked in
I
the head with a bottle.
yeah,
Mhm.
yep.
That was just like brutal violence everywhere.
My God, the John Moxley taking all the skewers to the head, because you
Oh,
usually when they take the skewers to the head and they move, most of them will fall out. I remember
Yeah,
he moved his head, none fell out.
not at
yeah.
first.
Yeah,
That's
He looked like
not
a
at first.
unicorn.
Yeah,
that image is
He
gonna
looked
stay
like a goddamn
burned.
unicorn.
yeah.
Hmm.
Like I'm just thinking, like, oh my God, that must be pulling on his skin.
He was
But
like
And
yeah,
it
foreskin
was. You
first
could
looking.
see as they started to move, you could see the skin flopping up and down.
yeah. And then
Insane.
one of my favorite things was Orange Cassidy towards the end of the match takes a bottle, busts it inside a bucket,
Uh
wraps
huh.
his hands in tape, but the sticky side out,
Yeah.
puts his hands inside, and a callback to the Taipei death match in ECW.
Or
And he has a
kickboxer.
really no, yeah,
Yeah,
because I
yeah.
remember
Van Damme did in the kickboxer movie.
Hmm.
oh, okay, yeah, I didn't know that.
You got
Ladies geek.
Bill Dollar Bill. You got to remember how young he is.
Yeah,
I know.
yeah,
These are
I'm
yeah.
just.
You
I'm
something
gotta
we
just.
grew up on, not him.
yeah.
I'm just still giving him another reference to look up. That's all.
But yeah, I listen. I know the beard adds like 10 years, but trust me, for now I'm still in my 20s. Um, but yeah, no, that was a sick spot. That was a sick match. It's a lot of things I
And
never
to
would have
end it with
expected.
that spot
Yeah,
where he knocks Claudio out with that punch.
orange glass punch.
Yeah. But
Recall
you know
that.
what?
Mhm.
During that match, Orange Cassidy became Blood Orange Cassidy.
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good what would you call it? Like a darker or more psychotic transformation? Kind of like here's
No,
Orange
just because he was
Cassidy,
all bloody.
and then now he's got blood. Now it's Blood Orange Cassidy. More power. His stats went up by 2%. Boom.
yeah. Like lights go out, lights come back, and he's just covered in blood.
He went
He's got
Super
the
Saiyan.
crimson mask. He's got the
Rusev,
crimson mask. Oh my
Rusev would
god.
have been proud. But yeah, but it's like it's just I gotta go. We watched that one, but it's just some stuff I've seen so far. It's like how sometimes I wonder with some of these ultra violent matches, how do you top it or how do you make it more momentum? Like not memorable. That's it, memorable because it just seems almost like at one point they're almost gonna look almost the same.
Because they don't do them that often
Yeah,
and they have the build to it. That's what makes it momentous and that's what makes it memorable.
yeah,
Okay, so it's less to
You
do
know?
with the let's say unique items, unique weapons, unique stuff. It's more like how
how
rare
you
it
use
is.
them.
Ah,
Yeah, how you use them.
Hmm.
it's a good point to make.
Because I mean, like I remember the exploding barbed wire death match, right? It It was an entertaining match, but it wasn't as brutal as a normal death match.
Yeah.
And like because I remember when Jericho faced Nick Gage, which is a sentence I never thought I'd say.
Yeah,
Jericho
really.
facing Nick Gage in a death match. That was a proper death match.
Yes. Yes, it
You
was.
know,
Yeah.
it cost
Because
AEW
Nick
a
Gage is
sponsor.
a proper deathmatch wrestler.
Not just proper, he is the best.
He is the king.
Just don't
There's
be.
only maybe one deathmatch wrestler better than him, and his name is Atsushi Onita. But that's besides the point.
Yeah.
I might have to differ with you on that one. I think there's somebody a little bit better than that.
Who's that?
Bulldozer.
Well,
Matt
I
Tremont.
would say Gage is better than Tremont.
Ooh.
You think so?
He beat him.
Well, besides that, though, I mean, just because he beat him, did he put a good match on beating him?
Oh, they did a hell of a match.
Dude, let's put it this way. Even though he won the match, Nick came out the worst for wear in that match.
Oh yeah,
Because
yeah.
it was a patio pavers canvas match.
Yeah, they called it I think a cinder block death match. It was the
Yeah.
first time, mind you, it was the first ever time they did it in the United States.
Yeah. And we were there for it.
Yep. First time ever in the United States they had a match where the mat was just covered in cinder. Cinder
With the
the patio
paving stones that
blocks.
you put on a patio walkway.
Yeah.
The 2 foot by 2 foot square paving stones.
Yep. And
Wow.
Covered the entire ring.
whenever they did a backdrop onto the ring wouldn't make a noise because it was
But
those
dust would
stones.
fly everywhere.
Yeah, yeah, the
Wow.
stones would take all the brunt. That had to hurt.
It
Just
was
thinking
brutal.
about it.
Was
Nick
that the
was concussed
match?
after that.
Was that the match that finished with the
Power bomb through
Ni-
the trellis.
yeah,
Trellis of light
Cucrellis?
bulbs.
Yep, yeah, okay. Because that's the one thing I truly remember from that match. That was a
Hmm.
crazy spot.
Yes, it was. So, all right.
Wow.
After they cleaned up after the stadium stampede,
Which went piss break.
the ladies took to the ring.
They did a hell of a match.
Oh my God,
Um,
that was a slobber knocker.
yeah, I would say actually better than the original Fatal Four Way at the original ON.
Hmm.
This match was a very good match. Surprising that I mean, like it's surprising that they actually did it, but like now that I think about it, I'm not that surprised, and it's fitting. Soraya comes out to "We Will Rock You" by Queen.
Hmm.
Comes out with her entire
Sold out
family.
the original Wembley Stadium multiple times.
Yep,
Yep.
yep.
So Queen's welcome.
Yeah, walked out with her entire family,
Hmm. I
and
still cannot believe the comment that JR made, though.
What do you say? I don't remember.
Nigel was talking about Queen and Freddie Mercury, and JR says, he's not here, is he?
yeah. He died in like the 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that, and just everybody was like, okay, time to put down the headset, JR. But yeah, no, Tony Storm came out to God Save the Queen, or King
Hmm.
now, God Save the King,
Yeah. And the
and
crowd went silent.
yeah, she
Yeah.
wasn't as over as Soraya because Soraya is a true like Brit.
Also,
Yeah.
then Brits aren't
Well,
exactly
Tony
into
Storm's
that
from
song.
Gold Coast,
She's
Australia.
but she did live in before moving to the United States. She did live in like the UK for like 10 years.
Yeah,
More like
and she
10
was part
minutes.
of NXT UK.
Even before that, yeah. So
Yeah,
like
but she was part of
she
NXT
does,
UK.
yeah. But like what I'm saying is like before NXT UK, she was living in the United Kingdom.
Hmm.
Right.
Um,
But it's just, I don't know. That song I heard was like, even the Brits are kind of like, that doesn't
yeah,
really.
like she wasn't a proper Brit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of
Um,
like a poser.
yeah. So
Wanka.
because
That's my word.
they tried to bet on that or not play on that.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, then comes DMD and then comes Hikaru Shida. And yeah, no, it was a wonderful match. I remember there was one spot where Tony accidentally hit Soraya's mom, and I'll tell you what, Soraya's mom was, who's
She was
also Soraya.
not happy. She was ready to knock her block off.
Man, she was playing that part so well. Oh, that whole family, they were playing
Oh,
their
they
parts
do.
so well.
Yeah,
They
They
went
absolutely.
love it.
straight into worker mode.
Hmm.
But no, yeah, and it was a wonderful moment to see Soraya come out and win. Um, See, one thing that I was expecting to happen that didn't. Um, so there was one special guest that was shown in the pre-show, and then also shown later in the show, who was
But you
like,
were
I was
expecting her to do a run in or something?
yeah, yeah, the former Sasha Banks, now Mercedes Monet,
Hmm.
was in the attendance for All In, and during the after show, Tony Khan said that they would love to work with her. They tried to get her on, but she was not cleared.
Hmm.
There was a photo of somebody showing that she was still in a boot. So she was wearing a boot as she was shown on the screen yesterday.
Hmm.
Um,
Well,
so
she did a number on herself in that match with Willow Nightingale.
yeah, yeah, completely shattered the ankle.
Yeah,
Like
so
there was
that's
people
gonna
saying
take
that,
it's gonna take a long time to heal.
yeah, and it's already been like 3 months.
Yeah,
The New Japan Strong Women's Championship was made specifically for Sasha or
yeah, I know.
Mercedes,
Hmm.
and she never got to win it. She never got to win it, and then it's already on the second champion, who I think is the best champion ever. Okay, um, who I went to go see in Philly last week. I can't
Hmm.
stop talking
Julia.
about her, Julia.
Yeah.
um, who I will probably say right now is my favorite. Has dethroned Bailey as my favorite female wrestler. Um, but yeah, so you expecting Mercedes Monet? She wasn't cleared. So supposedly the word is that Mercedes Monet is going to be working with AEW once she gets cleared.
Should
Mm.
be interesting.
That'd be interesting.
Be very interesting. But yeah, no, yeah, Soraya. I see. Here's the thing, right? So it looks like the Outcasts have now pretty much been broken up. Dynamite's going to be a hell of a show to catch,
Hmm.
to see if they're still together, because they might do.
Yeah.
Because next week there's going to be Ruby Soho versus Chris Statlander for the TBS title on All Out.
Yep.
Does like do we have Soraya and Tony Storm? Is that going to be a potential feud coming up? Because after yesterday, it seems like that's what they
Yeah,
may be doing.
it's definitely going to happen because they were having that big argument in the middle of the ring while they were trying to pin Dr. Britt Baker.
Yeah,
And you heard Soraya say this to her. We talked about this.
yeah,
And Tony like, just ignored her and went back to pin her. And Soraya pulled her up off of Britt Baker and just started beating the hell out of her.
yeah,
So you know they're planting the seeds for a feud between the two of them.
yeah. Something that I think is going to be a very good feud coming
Oh
up.
yeah, definitely.
So yeah, no, there was a wonderful match,
The mother country
and
versus the penal colony.
yeah,
Because that's exactly what it is.
yeah, that's what it was.
Australia was established as a penal colony for England.
So yeah, no, yeah. So it was a wonderful match. It's
Yeah,
wonderful four
definitely.
way. The next match
Was the coffin
is
match.
yeah. I'll tell you what, man. So I don't have any specific memories of Sting coming out to Seek and Destroy. So to hear it yesterday, that was not something I was expecting.
No, definitely not.
And I'm just thinking like, oh shit, we're going back to WCW. Oh, we WCW boys. I was
But
expecting him to come down from the
I was
rafters.
loving his face paint.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
He
Because
went.
I love how recently he's been like going back to Joker's thing. I love that.
Hmm
It's my favorite thing.
And then the little vignettes that they did, where he's basically acting like Jack the Ripper.
Yeah, 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 yeah. That was a good
So
promo yesterday.
that was great. I love that.
See, I was thinking about it earlier today, man. What AEW is doing with Sting is truly like how house legends should be like
Treated.
going today. Yeah, treated today. Is like they're helping build the next generation. They're not burying the next generation, and then you wonder why there's no
They're
stars
not
today.
burying the previous generation to enhance the new generation.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He's still being looked in a good light, and
Hmm
he's not overstepping his boundaries. They're highlighting him and
hmm
utilizing him, but they're not destroying him.
Right.
But yeah, no, it was a fun match.
Oh yeah, it was.
I
What had
know
to be a really brutal spot was in when Darby Allen did the coffin drop
onto the
and
coffin.
landed on the coffin.
Yeah, no, yeah, his back is hurting today.
Oh yeah.
His back. He's gonna need a lot of painkillers at this point.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. But yeah, no, it was a lot of cool spots. I know Nick Wayne taking that choke slam into the skateboard. His
Oh.
back has got to be
Oh
hurting.
yeah.
Oh yeah. Because he
But yeah,
landed on the area of the skateboard where the wheels are, the truck.
yeah, yeah,
Even though it was right side up, he landed on the truck, and
yeah,
that's solid steel.
yeah. So and it
And
was like
no,
right in the
that
shoulder
hurts.
blades too. Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna leave a mark.
Oh yeah. So yeah, it was a
And then
nice
he
little
gets
fun
carried
tag
away by
match.
Luchasaurus, literally.
But yeah, it was a
Yeah.
nice little fun tag match.
Hmm
Um, he gives Sting his dues.
He's
And
He's
he can still
61,
hang.
60. Yeah, 61, 62, and he's still killing it.
I thought it was
Yeah.
64.
I don't know his specific age, to be honest.
Yeah, I thought it was older than that, but damn.
But yeah, no, he's still killing it.
The best use of a bat in a wrestling match.
Yep.
yeah.
Oh yeah. And then we have Jericho and Osprey. Osprey's dream match. And man, so one thing I was
They
always
killed it.
wondering about was that now they turned Jericho babyface, sort of.
Again.
And then I'm thinking like, okay, yeah, like now he's kind of babyface, but now he's got to face Osprey, who is going to be super over at Wembley.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So one thing, I guess they did to help, get I guess Will Osprey over as a babyface, was the night before he was cutting a end of the night promo at the 10th anniversary for Rev Pro, and Jericho attacks him
Yep.
in a Bushi mask, and got that heel heat. And so he comes out today. Although people were singing the song, Jericho wasn't over as a babyface. It was
Nope.
Osprey.
Yeah.
And you could see definitely during the match, Jericho was working heel. He was doing some very
Definitely.
heelish stuff, not breaks and all that. And so, yeah, they had a wonderful match. At the end of the match, Jericho kicked out of the Oz
hmm
Cutter, or no, the Stormbreaker. Excuse me. Kicks out of
Yeah.
Stormbreaker, and
He did
then
cut out of an Oscutter,
yes.
but
So
he couldn't
yeah,
kick out of the second storm break.
nope. Along with the hidden blade,
Yeah.
second Stormbreaker, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, no, man, Osprey. his contract is legitimately up in 6 months. It's usually at the end of January. That's when New Japan contracts are usually up. His services are going to be wanted by 3 companies. I can tell you that.
hmm New
Um,
Japan's going to want him back.
and then WWE and
AEW,
AEW are going to have very, very strong competition with each other. It's going to be all up to him. He's got
and with
all the
the
power.
action that he's seen in AEW, I see him being all elite
See, here's the thing,
by the
right?
end of February.
That's that's why Jay White came to AEW, because he knew he was probably going to leave New Japan, and it
hmm
was just a matter of the devil I don't know versus the devil I do know.
Right.
And
Ooh.
he would say he has said very good things about AEW in the past. Before that, he had a very wonderful working experience, so he
hmm
went with what he knew.
Yep. Plus, he had
So
worked with a lot of guys who were in AEW in the
yeah,
past. He'd worked with
so
the Bucks. He'd worked with Punk. He'd worked with
Omega. No, he didn't work
Omega.
with Punk.
He
Punk
didn't
was
work with Punk.
gone from not before he came to WWE or AEW, or I should say New Japan, because he was trained. Jay White was trained in the New Japan dojo, and he was in the dojo around 2015, 2016, and then in 2017 he was on excursion to Ring of Honor. Then he joined. He went back to New Japan at the end of
Okay,
2017.
but he's worked with the Bucks,
Omega,
Omega, Jericho.
um, Lance Archer.
Yeah,
So he's worked with a number of people within AEW.
yeah. So
Um,
the better the devil you know.
I mean, he could still end up resigning with New Japan. That's in the case of him versus Jay White. Him staying with New Japan is a very legitimate option. He's always
hmm
said nothing but good things about New Japan. He's
Yeah,
enjoyed his time in New Japan, so him staying with New Japan is a very legitimate option.
Mm.
But yeah, no, they had a wonderful match, and yeah, Ospreay, he's no longer the future of
he's the present.
yeah,
Mhm.
he's the present. So after that, we had
The Trios Championship.
yep, the Trios Championship,
Woohoo.
the House of Black
Oh
with a
man,
nice little tribute.
Oh yeah.
yes,
Yes.
very very classy of them.
Yes, because especially since 2 of the 3 um are very good friends
hmm
with the late great
Buddy and
Bray
Malachi
Wyatt. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a nice little tribute with
with the lantern.
the lantern. And then the Acclaim came out huge war. Holy man.
Mm-hmm.
Holy mackerel. What a reaction.
And then for Badass to make his return, oh,
Yeah.
brought me back to the Attitude Era.
So they had a very, very good match.
I
A
would have
very good
expect
6-way.
I would have expected him to come out on his own to his own music. Oh, you didn't know?
Well, there's no way they would have been able to license
No,
that.
hell no. No
No, I
way.
know that, but still, would have been hilarious.
Yeah, and then W would Vince would be like, damn it, sue them.
We better watch out. He may come after us just for mentioning it.
Yeah.
Hi,
May
Vince.
Yeah.
have to edit.
Hi,
Hey,
Vince.
boss. Yeah.
You're number one with me.
I like them.
Actually, he's
the
number
bullet.
2.
Anyway.
Yeah, do the Stone Cold. No, you gotta do it this way.
I didn't hire him.
But
with
yeah,
Pacino.
yeah. But yeah, no. So Claim won after a very entertaining matchup, and they had the biggest scissoring party in the world.
Yep,
Everybody got scissored.
Yeah, everybody got the
including
scissors.
MJF's father.
Yes, I
And
can't believe they
Yeah.
actually made the trip.
can't believe he actually got scissored.
Yeah,
Hell,
Oh,
even Julia
good.
Hart got scissored.
she did. Oh, I forgot what Taz said. Taz
Scissor me
said
timbers.
no. Taz said a wonderful line. I actually got the move. Oh, I forgot what it was, but it was a really really funny line. And then yeah, and then we ended on the main event: MJF versus Adam Cole. Wonderful story told
Yeah.
there. Um,
To
you
finish
know,
with a funky finish to start the finish.
yeah, yeah.
We,
About halfway
they
through the
double
match,
clotheslined each other, fell with their arms across each other's chests, and the referee calls for the double pin,
yeah.
calls for the draw.
And then once you start to see it, you're like, oh, okay, they're calling back towards their previous matchup.
Hmm.
And then Adam Cole goes 5 more minutes. And I remember thinking from like, why would you want 5 more minutes? It's
Okay.
not a. This is not a. Like, I can understand, storyline wise, but like realistically thinking, what the hell would you want 5 minutes? And then MJF gets the big pop. No, but we're going to we'll have a winner. Blah blah blah.
Yep.
So they restart the match, and then that's when Roddy comes down. Um,
Yep.
the whole thing. The cheat to
And Bryce gets
win.
knocked out.
Bryce gets knocked out. What's his name? Adam Cole hits him with a Sunset in Paradise.
Hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and the try to hit him with the belt. I'm not gonna do it.
Pulls out the
MJF
uh,
thinking about hitting him with the
dynamite diamond
diamond ring.
ring.
Yeah, not gonna do it. And then yeah, MJF
Wins it legit.
wins on a roll up.
Wins it clean on a roll up.
Yep. After Adam Cole had an argument with Roddy.
Hmm.
And then you think Adam Cole sits in the corner, he's all depressed, all sad. MJF tries to console him. Brings out the Ring of Honor tag title, says, "Hey, we still got these, we still got these." Throws it. Then MJF loses his shit. Wasn't about me. You weren't really my friend. You're a fake piece of shit. And then do it. Like he stands in the corner with his arms open wide. Hit me, get it over with. With Roddy on the rope saying, "Do it, do it, do it, do it." Doesn't
Hmm.
do it. They hug and happy days. Happy days are
Yep.
here again. August 25th, 2024. AEW returns to Wembley.
Wow.
You think?
Can they pull the same numbers? It's going to be interesting.
I think they can.
Hmm.
It's probably only going to be down maybe 78 because they
Leave-
might. You know what they might do? Now that they hit the 81,000 and all that, they might run a bigger stage. Because so what they did, you know how back in the day in Madison Square Garden, WWF used to come through the tunnels
Yeah.
Yeah.
with the doors. That was the same way that AEW did. So it wasn't like long ways; it was short ways. So I feel like
Yeah.
next year they're going to come back with a bigger stage and they're going to do long ways,
Hmm.
so they could have like that bigger grand feel.
Okay. The longer ramp.
Yeah, longer ramp.
I gotta get to the ring. I gotta get to the ring.
Like WrestleMania 31.
All those the football field WrestleManias.
Yeah.
It's like he's doing a run in. Great. Keep hitting him. Don't pin him yet. Don't pin him yet.
Oh, that I just thought of. Do you remember that one video? Or I think it's Little Nate. I think it's WrestleMania 24, and he's just running the entire WrestleMania stage. Like
Hmm.
you see him running down the entire ramp, and he's going full sprint. It's the funniest thing.
Yeah. It was.
It's like by the time he gets to the ring, the match is almost over.
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
Another referee came in and did the count. But no, yeah, the entire All In show was, I think, other than the CM Punk incident, I think was entire a resounding success. The highest paid attendance in wrestling history. A
What do
wonderful
you
night.
give it as a grade?
Because usually with AEW pay per views, there's usually one bleak match. There's one dud on a show of very good matches. I think a lot of these matches, although not all time bangers, were very solid. Um, so I'd probably have to give the show 8.5 or a 9.
Okay.
Because it was solid wrestling throughout. It's entertaining wrestling. It was a 4-hour show that flew by.
Hmm.
Probably part of it was because of the good wrestling. Another part of it because it was 1 o'clock. And
Mhm.
a 1 to 5 show probably feels a hell of a lot better than an eight
8 to
to
7 to
11.
11
eleven.
show.
Yeah.
Yeah, 8 to 12. So yeah, no, it was a very 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 good show for me.
Yeah. I'll have to
Dollar
finish it
bill.
later to get my. I'll have to rewatch it and finish it later because, uh, dear Bleacher Report, please fix your damn website. It crashed more time. It crashed more times than the accidents on the Brooklyn Queens Expressway, folks. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah, it's like
yeah, that's why whenever I watch, like, especially with AEW pay per views, I try to order the actual pay per view
I
because
did.
it's well, no, like, yeah, I ordered it on cable.
Okay. That's yeah. I ordered in Bleacher because I don't have cable.
Yeah, no, I ordered it on cable because that's
Why did I cut cable again?
yeah, I
Anyway,
know.
like
So what about you?
I had to say I would say it's a 9. So it's definitely a 9 for me. And I think the weakest link in the whole chain was without a doubt for me was the CM Punk versus Samoa Joe match.
I enjoyed the match. I just don't like the bullshit that fucking CM Punk always does. He's not he's not the king, He's not the prime. That's one thing I hate about Collision. It's always like 30, 45 minutes. The last 30, 45 minutes are always CM Punk. CM Punk everything. CM Punk this, CM Punk that, CM Punk,
Yeah.
CM Punk, CM
Well,
Punk.
that's his show.
Yeah.
well now,
And it's
Yeah.
not, yeah, for now. Um like the Elite never did that. And the company was
Yeah.
named after them. They helped build the
Yeah.
goddamn thing.
Hmm.
But they never are so egotistical like fucking CM Punk is.
Yeah.
hmm,
Which is why nobody likes him because he causes trouble everywhere he goes.
Yeah,
but he's still a
yeah.
fan favorite somehow.
Somehow.
I'm not. I have no opinion on it.
Some people.
I have no opinion on it. I'm just saying, based
I'm not
upon
I'm
the
not trying
stats.
to like bring down anybody who is a fan of him. I mean, that's your call. But personally for me, I don't like that son of a bitch.
I don't
You
either.
have,
I
yeah,
haven't liked him since he was in WWE.
you got your reasons. I have no qualms. I have no idea
It
how to say
really
it.
turned on me when he fucking sued Cole Cabana. Because like Cole Cabana, like he said he was gonna pay for Cole Cabana's legal fees, didn't, and like this is supposed to be your best friend,
Hmm.
and you're just gonna fucking jip him like that? Like the fuck? I
Yeah,
would never do
exactly.
that to my best friend, even if I like said I was gonna do like, even if I don't say I'm gonna do something like good, like something like that. You don't have to ask. I'm gonna do it anyway. So it shows you this is supposed to be his best friend for 20 years. And that's how
Hmm.
he treats him.
Yeah,
Yeah, you can go fuck yourself, pal. And like
yeah,
this is Cole
exactly.
Cabana. Nobody has a bad thing to say about Cole Cabana.
Nope, not at all.
So
I got no. Yeah, I have no issues with like Cabana at all. I
yeah,
like I said,
Yeah.
I don't know him personally, but from what I've seen of Cabana's and interactions in at times, even outside of matches, Cabana
yeah.
always seems like a cool act though.
There's
Yeah, he was.
there's there's two people that I know of that said any bad thing about Colt Cabana: CM Punk and Jim Cornette. That's all you need to know.
Then again,
Yep.
doesn't Cornette kind of shut on anybody on most people anyway?
There's only he shits on most people, but I don't like to pay attention to him. I fucking hate Cornette too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
All
got his
right, well,
opinions, but
yeah. Try to we got to try to keep a positive attitude here. Now this isn't CM Punk land. This is our land. This is beyond the
Yeah.
barricade.
yeah,
Exactly.
So
we got
we're gonna keep a positive attitude here.
we gotta start booking matches.
Yep.
All in all, gentlemen, AEW All In was a very solid show.
Very solid show with another pay per view coming up in less than 7 days.
Amen to that.
Well, since they
Excited for
already
that.
went all in, it's only fitting that they go all out.
Oh wow.
All in, all out.
Back at
Or
the Chicago, back in Chicago at the United Center.
back
And
to
maybe
Chicago.
once and for all, CM Punk will be all out.
That's what I'm hoping.
So
That
am
is
I.
what I'm hoping.
Well, until then, tune in to AEW to find out. And if you can't tune in to AEW, tune into Beyond the Barricade podcast. We will talk about it.
Always put no. If you can't tune into Beyond the Barricade, tune into Dynamite. You should be always tuning in here.
Yes,
Yes,
we do.
indeed.
We do. We do bring the entertainment.
We also
will
bring the
promise.
controversy.
We will promise things that we cannot keep here on Beyond the Barricade.
Exactly.
That's
Expect the unexpected
We will
and
reveal.
expect the expected.
We will reveal who lifted the briefcase at Over the Edge 99 right here on Beyond the Barricade.
the true who is the higher power.
Yeah. You know who I actually heard? I don't know how true this is.
Mm.
You know who was supposed to, I guess, at one time was penciled in to be the higher power?
Who?
Christopher Daniels.
I can kind of see it. I
I could see it,
Me too.
but like in Attitude Era WWF, Daniels wasn't a big name back then.
No, I only heard about
No,
him
definitely
just a
not.
bit. Like, I want to say 2003. I want to say I heard.
Yeah, it's when TNA came around.
No, before TNA.
Oh well, Ring of Honor.
He was
my
Ring
bad,
of Honor.
No, even
Yeah.
before Ring of Honor, he was wrestling out in Cali.
I know he was wrestling out there.
I can't
I
remember.
know he was doing
He also
like
spent a few
independent
years in
shows.
Jersey All Pro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was the Cali where I remember him the most because that was like the
Mhm.
first time I saw him wrestle.
But yeah, that's
With
what I'm
the,
saying. Like he was an indie guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So like to go from indies to like doing the biggest storyline in the WWF, you know,
at the time, yeah.
you'd have to
Yeah.
ask him.
That'd be cool. But
You know who we should
gentlemen,
book
next
though?
week is Labor Day.
Wait, then who should book?
We should book for Labor Day. Curry Man.
There will be no
Uh,
bookings on Labor Day.
No, go enjoy and relax yourselves. You know.
And
Labor
wear
Day,
white.
we are taking the week off.
Yeah, we gotta relax too once in a while.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Oh, I
what they
thought we
say,
were
all
here
work and
forever.
no play makes Jack a dull boy.
No, it's like all fighting and no play makes Jack violent.
Oh, I thought it was all work and no play makes Homer something something.
Fat slob.
No. Murderers? Don't mind if I do.
No, crazy. You don't mind if I do.
That's it. Don't go crazy. I can't remember. Forget about that.
All right.
All right. Before we all go
When
crazy.
we come back in 2 weeks, talking about the greatest upsets of all time. If you guys out there have an idea for a match for us to talk about, hit us up on
Leave
Twitter,
us in the
BTB
comments.
Podcast 34, and at our email, ultempbtvpodcast@gmail.com. There you go.
Don't be afraid to leave a comment in the comment section.
Yeah, we like comments.
Hit
Absolutely.
likes, subscribes. We
Subscribe.
like those things too.
Yep.
Yeah. Comments, like,
Hit that
subscribes,
notification bell because little things pop up here and there, so you never know.
Ding.
Just don't leave a flaming turd on our doorstep. That's the one thing we don't like.
Again.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
As always, gentlemen, until next time, too sweet. And guns up.